Coming up on Ag Week TV.
Folks are in the field with their soybeans and seeing mixed results.
Cash basis levels for grains are historically strong at harvest. We'll find out what that and the drought mean for ethanol plants.
We're in northern Minnesota where sugar beet growers are coming together to help a family in need.
A hailstorm takes a heavy toll on wildlife at a South Dakota hunting ranch. And possible tax changes spell trouble for agriculture. Welcome to Ag Week TV. I'm Michelle Rook. The harvest season got off to a quick start in the region until some rain disruptions this week. USDA's crop progress report showed most states ahead of average. Corn harvest is around 10% done in most of the region as farmers move to harvest early with the dry crop and standability issues. And soybean harvest is well ahead of average, led by Minnesota, but behind last year. Before being slowed down by rain midweek, combines were rolling quickly through South Dakota. As of last Sunday, 17% of the beans were harvested. Yield ranges are wide, but generally better than projected for a drought year. With one of the driest years in the last 100 in South Dakota, soybean results are a welcome surprise for Craig Converse.
They're a little better than average, certainly better than what I was expecting going into it, just because we probably have had 8 to 10 inches for the whole year of rain, so we're still 5-6 inches below normal.
Despite that, some fields are producing better than a year ago.
I think those beneficial rains we got this year, we got some in August. I think that's what hurt the yields more so last year than this year.
In the southeast, Tim Ostrom says his soybeans are dry and yields are highly variable from field to field and within the field.
If you caught the rain, you probably got some of your best beans. If you caught a lot of rain, you probably do have your best beans. If you didn't catch the rain, you may have your worst beans you've ever had.
But he says it's also a function of genetics and soil type.
Some fields that are on the bottom that are sandy, and they're going to be maybe even 25. And I've got fields that got better soil, dry land, that are going to be about 45.
His irrigated yields are above that. However, he says the dryland acres are still better than past drought years on both total bushels and quality.
1988 was actually worse in that regard because it didn't even rain in August.
Across the state, soybean yields range from 20 to 70 plus bushels per acre. And so Converse is optimistic about the statewide average.
I think we're going to stay close to that trend line average yield. We're, expecting 40 bushel average, I think, for the state.
And with higher soybean prices versus last year, that will make up for some of the production shortfall. This week's first crop stop takes us to Ashton in northeast South Dakota, where the soybean harvest is advancing. The Frericks family farms 5,000 acres there, and their soybean yields and quality are highly variable because of the drought. Nathan Frerick says yields range from the mid-teens to mid-40s with test weights up to 57 pounds per bushel.
They were looking good, and then a lot of them were cupped. Then they got cupped and ugly looking, and then they slowly came out of it. And then here we are seeing it when you're combine. It don't even show up on your yield monitor, so that's pretty bad.
The family also has more than 300 beef cows in their cow-calf operation. Next, we head to southeast North Dakota and Edgeley, where Lauren Schultz was finding his soybean crop a little better than expected, but still way below average. This year, Schultz's soybean crop was drought-stressed with only tenths of an inch of rain earlier in the year. But a little shot of rain in late July may have saved his crop from total disaster.
But I do believe that because of the genetics that we have, a little more than I expected, but way below average.
The Schultz family also grows corn and wheat. Cash basis levels and prices for corn and beans have been historically strong in the Western Corn Belt for several months, and that has continued even at harvest. Normally, cash grain prices are under pressure as the crop is delivered to elevators in the fall. But producers like Chad Schooley say this year, cash basis on soybeans in northeast South Dakota is only about 25 cents under futures. And corn basis is at 0, which is a good indication of the short crop and strong demand.
Normally, I would take a guess that soybeans are usually $1 under and corn is 50 cents under. So that alone makes a lot of difference in our markets.
Corn basis is positive around some ethanol plants in the region as they scramble to secure supplies where the crop has been short the last 2 years. For example, Red Trail Energy at Richardson, North Dakota was paying 90 cents over the board for corn. USDA's quarterly stocks and small grains summary was friendly for wheat but bearish for the row crops, especially soybeans, where USDA paid quarterly stocks at 256 million bushels. That's 51% below last year, but well above estimates. Corn stocks were also lower than 2020, but above expectations at 1.24 billion bushels. Wheat stocks were bullish, lowered to 1.78 billion bushels. Meanwhile, wheat production is at 19-year lows with the drop in both winter and spring wheat from the last report. This week, Congress reverted back to proposing changes in tax policy to help fund the Biden administration's $1 trillion infrastructure package and $3.5 trillion budget. The possible changes would shift the funding burden to farmers and ranchers by raising capital gains taxes, eliminating stepped-up basis, and cutting the estate tax deduction levels in half.
So we're probably going to lose about $6 million in our federal gift tax and estate tax deduction. That's a big number. And when you take that with a couple, that's $12 million.
Ag-Secretary Tom Vilsack continues to say these tax changes won't hurt most farmers and ranchers, but NCBA estimates it would hit 65 to 80% of that group. Coming up on Ag Week TV.
Out of the kindness of their heart, over 60 sugar beet drivers are dumping off one family's sugar beet crop.
Superior Grain Equipment offers you the industry's best dryer and grain handling equipment. So make the superior choice and get higher quality grains, test weights, and prices while using half the energy. Superior Grain Equipment.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
At North Star Ag, we're more than your short-line machinery dealer. We're also full service, and we're farmers first. That means we know it's not about what's best, but what's best for your farm. Whether you're planting, growing, or harvesting, we're there for all your equipment, parts, and service needs. And we've been doing it since 2009, with the largest inventory and availability in the area. Check us out at northstar-ag.com or call us at 701-361-4790.
Superior Grain Equipment is committed to quality and service. Protect your bottom line and your future with superior quality, protection, and reliability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
Systems way. Good work, good pay, in a good life, lets me live my way. Good work, good pay, in a good life, Trans Systems way. Good work, good pay, in a good life, lets me live my way. It's the Trans Systems way. Good work, good.
Go beyond the headlines with an Ag Week membership. Get in-depth agribusiness reporting, original farm and ranch stories, and fact-based research for the most comprehensive ag news in the upper Midwest. Experienced ag journalists bring you exclusive ag news, insights, and policy updates you won't find anywhere else. Become a member today and get unlimited access to Ag Week and Ag Week TV.
The drought is stressing ethanol producers across the Midwest. It's worse in western North Dakota, where ethanol plants in Richardson and Underwood are unable to judge the size of the crop and how it will affect their production. Mikkel Pates has more in this week's Ag Week cover story.
This has been an extremely stressful year. I don't see a lot of relief coming.
Red Trail Energy of Richardson and Midwest Ag Energy's Blue Flint plant at Underwood grind a total of nearly 50 million bushels of corn a year for ethanol at their western North Dakota plants.
It was one of those, if you build it, they will come type of investments. It took a lot of faith to put a corn plant in the middle of wheat and durum country.
Changes in seed technology and other investments turned western North Dakota into corn country. 65% of the corn used at the Underwood plant is grown within about 75 miles. Much of the land that grows their local corn supply got less than 8 inches of rain this summer, and they had 20 days of 100-degree temperatures.
This drought is exceptional. There are local pockets that do have some corn, depending on when you receive that rain. The variation is from 120 bushels all the way down to 30 bushels in the same field.
With corn production down, they're paying more for it and preparing to ship more corn in by rail if it makes economic sense.
We will have to source corn from the east, and it's going to increase our transportation costs.
In addition to the drought, the industry lost a lot of demand because of COVID. Bachmeyer is hoping for favorable federal renewable fuel policies. Red Trail Energy and Blue Flint both are launching carbon dioxide sequestration programs to fit low-carbon markets in California and elsewhere. Red Trail is also moving into pharmaceutical ethanol grades, and while corn production was short this year, both companies face challenges ahead.
2022 is going to be a year of survival.
Well, there's nothing sure about ag production or ag processing. These ethanol producers out here in western North Dakota say they're here to stay. For Ag Week, this is Michael Pates at Richardson, North Dakota.
You can read more in the next Ag Week magazine or at agweek.com. An act of community kindness is helping a Minnesota farm family after a tragic loss. Paul Olsonowski died unexpectedly in July. He was a lifelong Lancaster area farmer known by many for his compassion. Emily Beal was there as friends and family took a day to remember him, 1 acre at a time.
The first feelings I had after he passed away was just this gripping fear that I've never felt.
Midway through the farming season, Dawn Olsonowski suddenly lost her husband, Paul, who was 55, leaving her to navigate her first harvest without him.
I didn't know what I was going to do after losing him. Didn't know how you're going to do life without your partner, but you just try and figure it out.
But friends, family, and employees showed up to get it done, all in a day.
He'd shake his head and tell everybody to go home and worry about their own fields. We'll get it.
Over 100 people working over 15 hours to get the crop out of the ground.
It has been the most humbling experience of my life, I think. It means everything.
Paul's close friend, Dan Youngren, organized the massive operation of 60 trucks.
It's like letting 60 cats go. They're going in all different directions.
Everywhere you look, there's trucks today, and there's people moving, and it's the first time in 2 months now that I've felt pretty blessed.
American Crystal Sugar opened its piling site in Humboldt for the day, just for the Olsonowski's family's yield.
And this farming family we have here is wonderful. This is what America should look like right here.
In Humboldt, Minnesota, this is Emily Beal for Ag Week.
The group harvested 540 acres that day. A Rochester, Minnesota landmark has a fresh new look. The iconic era of corn water tower has been restored to look new again. It was celebrated this week with a corn-themed party. It was built in 1931 at the site of a cannery. The plant closed and the area where it stands has been sold for development, but the water tower remains as the centerpiece. Ellen Whipple worked at the plant for decades and is thrilled with the restoration.
I know that for many years that our children, great-grandchildren, and the generations to come will also be able to admire that beautiful tower.
The tower restoration is part of a $2 million project by Olmsted County to prepare the site for development. Ahead on Ag Week TV, a hailstorm took a heavy toll on the wildlife at a hunting ranch. And later, we'll take you to South Dakota's huge buffalo roundup.
Risk management is not just for the grains. Livestock producers, did you know you can help protect the price of your production? Livestock Risk Protection, or LRP, is a great tool to help you protect the price of your years of hard work. LRP is available for feeder cattle, fat cattle, and swine. Besides the availability of price risk insurance in your production, cattle producers can also protect their pasture and hayland from the lack of rainfall with Pasture Rangeland Forage, or PRF insurance. To learn more about these programs, call Martinson Ag Risk Management.
You can get the field results you want in varying conditions with the flexibility of the Summers VRT Renegade. Featuring on-the-fly blade angle adjustment from 0 to 19 degrees. And if you want the simplicity of a Super Coulter with the ability to move a little dirt, you'll love the all-new Summers Super Coulter Samurai. Go to summersmfg.com or visit your local dealer to learn more about North America's broadest line of tillage equipment and other products from North Dakota-based Summers Manufacturing.
They say when the going gets tough, the tough get going. At OK Tire, we're here to keep you going. From Firestone tires and replacements to retreads and even Firestone tracks, we have you covered. Our certified Firestone experts are ready to get you back up and running, no matter if you're on site or in the field, saving you time and money. OK Tire, we keep the tough going.
We're going to talk today about a revolutionary auto steer product that you guys have developed.
We back one of these things in, it'll drain a 40-acre patch just within hours.
What can you tell us about what dairy farmers do to make sure that their animals are happy?
Their care is our primary concern.
Is there still time for producers to get storage bins up?
Absolutely. We still can definitely get something up and ready for corn harvest.
Harvest was interrupted by some rain late this week in parts of our region, but it looks like more cooperative weather ahead. Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
General Outlook 2-week forecast the next couple of weeks. A very fascinating weather pattern because the month of October throughout the Great Plains and most of the upper Midwest really getting into some warm weather. We had some heat wave here in late September, and even as we segue into the first couple of weeks of October, looks like a lot of much above average temperatures. However, and it's a little far out for any really precise forecast and a little far out for any great confidence. But I am suspicious that we're looking at a mid-October switch to a much cooler weather pattern, and there would likely be some rain in the transition. Now let's take a look at the pattern and let me show you why I think it's so complicated. First of all, as we go through this weekend, the first weekend in October, it's a warm weather pattern coast to coast. Really, except for maybe New England and parts of the Great Lakes, we're really looking at a lot of 70s and 80s and some patches of 90s in the south. So it's really very, very warm. However, we're starting to see again, and we've seen this a couple of other times this fall season, the jet stream beginning to go in through some really widespread splitting. Now, when this happens, oftentimes the air in between just kind of goes to set mild. In other words, the cold air stays up north, the really hot weather stays south. And we will see, I think, a reduction in the really warm weather. But because of the dry soils and the general westerly flow in the northern high plains, there will continue to be some warm temperatures. And by this, I mean 70s and maybe some scattered 80s, that kind of weather pattern throughout the Great Plains. And it looks like that's going to persist for a while, at least throughout this first week. There will be some ridging. We may see some of those mid-80s and upper 80s and 90s climb back up to the central part of the Great Plains, but I don't think it's going to come any further north than that because this little ridge pattern is actually, I suspect, part of the beginning of a transitional phase as we start seeing a big low-pressure trough. Now, this is actually going to be this coming weekend, and it'll take some time to really manifest itself, but I suspect this will start pulling down much cooler weather into the northern plains. The really cold stuff, I think, will be in the Rockies, in the higher elevations. But we'll get some jacket weather, some coat weather out into North Dakota and South Dakota and parts of Minnesota at least as we get into this cooler weather pattern. That would be happening around the middle of the month. So what does that do for precipitation? Well, this week ahead looks warm and dry over the northern plains. What rain showers there are will be scattered along the eastern seaboard into the eastern part of the Corn Belt. There will continue to be some monsoon storms in the southwest, not widespread rain, but the risk for locally heavy rains is there, and some of the Pacific Northwest will get a little bit of rain. But the second week it starts getting interesting. As this goes big low pressure trough, the southeast begins to dry out, the wet weather shows up into the northern plains, and the higher elevations for the first time this year start getting some appreciable snow cover as we look at cool temperatures for the second half of the month.
I'm Peter Bosch. I've been working with Gateway Building Systems for a little over 20 years now. I chose Gateway Building Systems to build my shop because I wanted a building that could both be used for my equipment and as a place for my family to hang out and do things. I would advise anybody that's thinking about working with Gateway to go in and talk to the guys there, tell them your plans and your future dreams, and let them design something for you.
Don't miss out on the equipment you'll need next season. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH dealer, has early order discounts on its full line of powerful, efficient, new Case IH equipment, including tractors, combines, and self-propelled sprayers. Get a great deal and ensure that you have the latest in productivity and technology. Supply chains are tight. Contact your Titan Machinery dealership today and find out how much you can save by ordering ahead. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH equipment experts.
We have products that no other companies have. That gives us a bit of an advantage and a bit of an edge, and it provides some security to our customer base that we've been here, we're here to stay, and we want to still provide these new innovations to the customers today. It's cold granulated products where we're putting together multiple nutrients. We've got products in our Micro Essentials lineup that contain sulfur and zinc, and we also have products on our potash side which contain boron, which is a newer product for us, which is called Aspire.
At North Star Ag, we're more than your short-line machinery dealer. We're also full service, and we're farmers first. That means we know it's not about what's best, but what's best for your farm. Whether you're planting, growing, or harvesting, we're there for all your equipment, parts, and service needs. And we've been doing it since 2009, with the largest inventory and availability in the area. Check us out at northstar-ag.com or call us at 701-361-4790.
For Ag Week, this is Mickle Pates at Watertown, South Dakota.
We'll look at the positive impacts that dairy can have on the community.
A Minnesota couple has put a grain bin to a new use. Spoiler alert, it's not grain.
This elaborate system of tubing with the downhill slope is how Maplewood State Park gathers sap to make syrup.
Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. A huge hailstorm in northeast South Dakota in late August took a heavy toll on crops, but also a wildlife and bird hunting farm. As Mickle Pates found, Coteau View Hunts and Kennels was dead center of the storm, battering it with baseball-sized hail and killing numerous wildlife.
It's totally devastating, totally devastating.
Brian Somke and his twin brother Bryce run guided pheasant and waterfowl hunts on 500 acres of conservation land, as well as their brother and father's nearby crop and livestock farm. But a late August supercell hailstorm left a path of destruction 6 miles wide and 225 miles long. Their operation got the worst of it.
We found big mature does dead, completely dead, holes punched through the sides of them. So obviously been knocked out and then bludgeoned to death by the hail. And then pheasants, you find one pheasant, you find 15 of them in a circle all roosted up for the night.
Somke says they have not found any birds that survived the storm.
It's 100% loss. Wherever that type of hail went through, it killed everything.
But it wasn't just animals that were affected.
This grass here was chin high, native grass, and it's completely flat. It looks like we hate it.
The baseball to softball sized hail also wiped out about 200 acres of their corn.
There's a dent right there. That hailstone went in 2 inches into the ground.
Somke says that while crops can be insured, the wildlife can't. So they'll get by with little help from their friends, as they say. They're working with neighbors to run this year's hunt, and with the help of a GoFundMe effort, they'll restock for future hunting seasons. In Conde, South Dakota, this is Mickle Pates for Ag Week.
Somke says one small silver lining is that the hail destroyed the mat of dead matter on their CRP land, allowing for fresh growth. It's the largest yearly one-day event in the state of South Dakota, drawing more than 20,000 people, and it's one of a kind. It's the Custer State Park Buffalo Roundup, and it recently marked its 56th year by gathering up more than 1,300 head from the park's herd. People traveled from hundreds of miles away to witness the massive event, which has been held since 1966. Horseback riders and more than 100 park staff members and volunteers make it possible. And South Dakota is the only state that does this with buffalo.
Well, it's a critical herd management tool for us. It's our one opportunity every year to get an overall health assessment of our herd. Our adults, we pregnancy test them all. Any antibiotics, our veterinarian looks them over, and then the calves, they actually get branded every year. And then we decide what animals are kept in the herd over the wintertime and which ones we sell at our annual auction in November.
There are 1,450 bison in Custer State Park, but they don't round up the mature bulls. Still ahead, how horses are improving mental health.
Risk management is not just for the grains. Livestock producers, did you know you can help protect the price of your production? Livestock Risk Protection, or LRP, is a great tool to help you protect the price of your years of hard work. LRP is available for feeder cattle, fat cattle, and swine. Besides the availability of price risk insurance in your production, cattle producers can also protect their pasture and hayland from the lack of rainfall with Pasture Rangeland Forage, or PRF insurance. To learn more about these programs, call Martinson Ag Risk Management.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
Every dollar counts on the farm, especially in this year's dry conditions. There's a new technology that uses nanoparticles for more efficient delivery of nutrients to your crops. Rose Dunn gives you a look at how nanoliquid technology works.
AquaYield was first introduced to this region in 2018 by Erickson Custom Operations. Aside from the excitement of offering a new technology that works, growers across the Midwest are achieving higher yields and a better crop while reducing input costs through nanoliquid technology.
No special handling, easy to use, 4 ounces per acre. So really low use rate. You can put it in furrow, you can foliar apply it. And I mean really all from between $3 to possibly $8 on a per acre cost to you to try it. So very inexpensive.
To learn more about how AquaYield works, contact Jim Erickson at ECO at the number or email on your screen.
Go beyond the headlines with an Ag Week membership. Get in-depth agribusiness reporting, original farm and ranch stories, and fact-based research for the most comprehensive ag news in the upper Midwest. Experienced ag journalists bring you exclusive ag news, insights, and policy updates you won't find anywhere else. Become a member today and get unlimited access to Ag Week and Ag Week TV.
The Bison Strides program at NDSU puts horses to work helping people. The program held a workshop recently that focused on mental health and learning with horses. It drew professionals from around the country and was conducted by the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship, known as PATH. The Bison Strides program director says horses work well in programs like this because they are extremely intuitive.
Their whole existence and survival depends on their ability to read the body language of everything in their environment. So that includes other horses, but it also includes people, and includes cats and dogs. And so they're really in tune with what's truly going on with a person.
People at the workshop can now become PATH certified as equine specialists. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You have yourself a great and safe week.